Hey guys, what's going on? Krow of Murder 15 here, and welcome to a new episode of Crow's Nest. Now, before we get started with today's episode, you may notice that the video quality is a little lower. That's because I'm filming with a new resolution at 640 instead of HD. It lets me film longer for about a half hour rather than just 9 minutes and 41 seconds. For some reason, my camera does that. So, if you notice a little difference, that's why. Otherwise, we're going to have a great show, and we're going to go ahead and get started with your guys' opinion on last week's topic, which was Dragon Ball S/Super. So I'm going to go through, read some of the comments that I received about your guys' opinion on it, whether good or bad, because there is no right or wrong in this. This is your guys' opinion, and kind of just give my feedback on a little bit. But, you know, if I agree with you, if I don't agree, I'm not saying that you guys are wrong, because this is your opinion. So let's get started. Stephen Blaylock says, I'm honestly not excited for the new Dragon Ball show, only because I'm worried it's going to be more of the same. Most horrible/powerful person in the universe is causing havoc and beats up Goku, and then Goku comes back later, reaches a new super level, and then wins. I think what really killed DBZ for me was Toonami, where they played the Frieza saga over and over again for, I believe, almost a full year, and then finally moved on to other stuff. Yeah, I watched the later stuff until the end of the Buu saga, but by then I was burnt out on the same old plot. I hope they bring something new to the table in this. Steven, I can definitely see where you're coming from, because that's mainly what Dragon Ball Z was mostly about. At the same time, though, I don't know why, it just caught me for some reason. Each time, you know, even though the same plot line was used. I mean, take Pokemon, for example. You've got the same major concept, yet those are still selling millions and billions of games. Yet, I do agree with you that they do need to bring something new to the table, and hopefully not stick with the same old plot line of bad guy comes in, beats up Goku, Goku heals up, does some type of training, and then beats him. You know, I do agree with you there. TK says, I cannot be constructive. Go Super Saiyan, God Super Saiyan. I steal this name, lol, and flips the table. From my understanding, this should be happening after Resurrection of Frieza. Also, I don't really see them going with Super Saiyan 4 since they are taking the whole God mode. Yeah, I can see where you're talking about, like, because their God mode's like the new form aside from Super Saiyan 3, you know. But at the same time, I would like to see Super Saiyan 4 at least try to make a comeback, because even though it was developed in GT and technically not canon, it is still kind of a staple. They use it in a lot of the video games, and I don't know. It's really hard to say, because Super Saiyan 4 is really, really cool, but at the same time, I can see where you're coming from as far as them not using it and just sticking with Super Saiyan God form. Daniel Higginbotham says, one thing I would like to see would be a few more Saiyans to show up. And before anyone states there are no more, just think the only reason why Goku, Raditz, Vegeta, Nappa, and Vegeta's brother, who was mentioned in Battle of Gods, which from what I hear is supposed to be canon, all survived is because for one reason or another just happened to be somewhere else. So it would make sense if others were away at the time as well. I'm not sure if I would like to see any more Saiyan characters per se, in my own personal opinion, just for the fact that we've got a lot already. I mean, think of it this way. We've got Goku, Vegeta, and yes, technically this next part's half Saiyans, but it's still Saiyan. Gohan, Trunks, Goten. You know, right there's 5, and that's not including Vegeta's brother, I forget his name, but yeah, he was mentioned in the Battle of Gods, and he was part of a short film as well. And Broly even, which, even though I don't think Broly's canon, I'm not for sure on that, because some of the movies are canon, some aren't, I'm not sure on that. I would actually like to see characters of other races to be included with this, like, besides like Saiyans or Earthlings even. I mean, we've got enough Earthlings for God's sake, so that's something I would personally like to see, but maybe a new Saiyan or two wouldn't be too bad. David Owens says, Vegeta getting more character development and also becoming the strongest for a while, maybe a chance for him to train with King Kai. His sacrifice of himself was great development, but I want more. I am definitely right there with you, David, because Vegeta is one of my favorite characters, and seeing him going from the Saiyan Saga to even in Battle of Gods, where he sacrificed pretty much his pride in order to keep Lord Beerus from destroying the party and even the Earth, you know, that's some great character development. The old Vegeta wouldn't have done that. He would have just said, I'm not going to go up there and make a fool of myself just to let this planet live. So that is something that I would like to see. And I would even like to see a lot of the other characters start to develop more. I know in Resurrection of Frieza they touch up more on Gohan, and I haven't seen it myself, but just from what I've seen of images and kind of clips here and there, that Gohan's becoming more of a refined citizen of the city and not a fighter like his dad is. And granted, I don't like it that much, to be honest, because Gohan's another one of my favorite characters, but I would like to see a lot more character development as far as the other Z fighters as well. And even like some of the minor characters like Krillin or Yamcha or Tien, see what those guys are up to and kind of have more development for them. Even though they kind of did have a majority of development throughout Dragon Ball, going into Dragon Ball Z, but it would still be kind of cool to see them continue to develop instead of just saying like, well, here's what they are now. And that's your guys' response. I got some great responses from you guys, so those are my 2 cents on that. So we're going to go ahead and move it to this week's subject, and this subject was suggested by Callum Plays 24, a really good friend of mine that lives out in Scotland, and his subject suggestion was to talk about Avengers: Age of Ultron. I finally got to see this movie. It's been out for, I believe, 2 weeks now, and where to start? And as you can tell by the smile on my face, it's a really, really good movie. I'm going to try to keep spoilers to a minimum, but if you haven't seen it, and if I accidentally let something slip, let this right now be your spoiler warning. But, in my honest opinion, it is probably the best Marvel movie that I have seen to date. And I've seen quite a few of them. And I will admit, I have not watched all of the Marvel movies that are connected with Avengers, or even the TV series, because like I've never watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., even though I heard it's a really, really good show. I actually never watched either of the Thor movies, just for the simple fact, you know, in my opinion, I'm not saying Thor's a bad character, he just never really interested me. I never watched the Hulk movies, but I know enough about the comic books, like I read the comic books and such, and I know enough about the lore in order to like not be kept in the dark, like not knowing what's going on. Visually, it's fantastic. It's probably one of the best I've seen. Just all around it was really good. The writing was good. There was actually a little more humor than I see in most Marvel movies, because most Marvel movies is action, 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 pause, you know, build character development, all this other stuff, story development, and then action, action, action. And it does kind of do the same thing for this movie, but I don't know, just there were certain parts in it where it felt like there was a little more humor, it was a little lighter. And I really liked that. It showed that these characters were human to a certain degree. Like, they weren't just these fictional characters that I was watching up on the silver screen. Like, these were living, breathing human beings, and they actually had personalities rather than Black Widow being all secretive and, you know, spy-esque and stuff, or you know, just that as an example. Like I said, I really, really enjoyed it. Ultron himself was incredible. The way they designed him, like, as far as design-wise, he was amazing. As far as, like, personality-wise, which is kind of weird considering that we're talking about a killer robot here, but he does have an AI, so it was different from what I was kind of expecting, but I liked the angle that they went with it. It was really, really good. And the inclusion of the Vision was absolutely amazing, how they brought him into the film. And getting to see the Hulkbuster outfit was absolutely amazing. Seeing some lead-ups to future Marvel movies like Captain America Civil War, Thor Ragnarok coming out in a couple of years. And it also brings a few things to the table as far as what they're going to go with for the next movies, like what they're going to be showing, what they're going to be hinting at, and that kind of stuff. So it's just really cool to see everything still connecting together still. And of course there's the hidden little thing at the very end of the credits that all Marvel movies do it now. So consider this another spoiler warning. The fact that we got to see Thanos actually look at the gauntlet not having any of the Infinity Gems in them was really, really cool, because you know excuse me, something big is about to go down. And unfortunately, we won't be seeing that until, I believe, 2018 or 2019, because they do have the schedule out for when all the Marvel movies are supposed to be coming out, and Infinity Wars is supposed to be coming out, and I think the first part is supposed to be coming out in 2018. But the next big one that I'm actually really looking forward to is Captain America Civil War, because I'm a huge fan of the Civil War storyline, and just to see how they're going to make that, the film adaptation of it, is just going to be incredible. And we're also shown a couple of different things in the movie that's going to play off of other movies that are going to be coming up, like, oh shoot, I forget his name, but it's one of the villains that is a potential villain for possibly the Black Panther movie coming out. But that's my opinion on it. It was a really, really good film. I would love to see it again. So, for those that have seen it, what are your guys' thoughts? Did you like the movie? Did you hate it? Did you think it was the best thing ever? Did you think it was complete garbage? Leave your opinions down in the comment section below, and do not forget to like, subscribe, comment, and also leave your suggestions for what you want to talk about on the next episode of Crow's Nest. So until then, guys, I'm Krow 15, signing off.